What's going on, guys? Riley here from RP Productions, and today I wanted to do a video talking about manual transmissions versus automatic transmissions. So now this is a topic that really varies from person to person. Some people are like pure manual purists. They're like, oh, if you get a car, it has to be a manual. And some people are like, I don't know how to drive a manual, I'm just gonna get an automatic. Other people don't know how to drive a manual transmission, but would really like to. They just haven't got the opportunity to, since now, I want to say the figure is like only 3% of people in America know how to drive a standard car, and the number of standard cars compared to automatic cars is probably somewhere around like 3% or maybe less also. So really, in terms of technology, the manual transmission is something that is definitely, becoming dated. A lot of car manufacturers like Porsche, for example, they are switching over to pretty much just like pure automatic transmissions, just because that's just where technology is taking us nowadays. Most car enthusiasts will tell you that they hate that, and that, you should always have manual transmissions. Manual transmissions are always better, and blah, 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 more driver involvement, which I understand the side of that. Manual transmissions are generally more fun. If you had two exact same cars, one was a manual, one was an auto, and they're both, a good automatic, good manual, I would say the manual would probably be a more fun experience. But what I really wanted to talk about today was the available transmissions currently out for, let's say, the 2016 year models for the Ford Mustang, the Chevy Camaro, and the Dodge Challenger, the three big, American muscle cars. So now it should be noted, this video is purely based off of my opinion. Your opinion can differ, and that's cool. We as Americans have the right to have different opinions. You don't have to get all butthurt about it and go flaming me in the comments. I'll try to give you some insightful, comments as to why my opinion is this way. And if you agree, cool. If you disagree, that's cool too. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. All right, so it should be known that I have driven all three, well, I guess all six, because I've driven the manual and automatic versions of all three of these vehicles, so I can give, kind of accurate representations of each transmission and my viewpoints on all of them. So I guess I'll go ahead and start off with my hometown, the Dodge Challenger and, kind of Charger 2016 year model. Personally, if I was in the market for a new Dodge Challenger or Charger obviously only comes in an 8-speed transmission. The Challenger, you have the option of a 6-speed manual or an 8-speed auto. Honestly, I know a lot of people are going to get really butthurt about this, especially since the Challenger is supposed to be the one that's like the true muscle car. It's like the last American muscle car. It should be with a 6-speed manual, and that's it. Honestly, I would have to say I disagree. I wasn't a huge fan of that manual transmission when I drove it. Wasn't a fan of the clutch feel. Wasn't a fan of the way the gears were laid out. The power delivery kind of felt kind of lazy compared to the 8-speed, just because with that 8-speed transmission in these new Dodges, the transmission is so good. Like, this 8-speed is just leaps and bounds ahead of just everything. It's really that good. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, have I ever felt the transmission shift any faster than the 8-speeds available in like the Hellcat or the Scat Pack or anything? I really don't think I've driven anything that shifts faster than these do. I really do like this 8-speed transmission. I will forever give it praise. 20 years down the road, I'm sure it'll be dated, but I'm still gonna be like, damn, that 8-speed that I had that one time in my life, damn, that thing was badass. So honestly, if I was gonna get a Challenger, I would get an 8-speed. I can see why people get the manuals, more driver involvement and stuff like that, but I don't know, this 8-speed's just too good to pass up. So now moving on, we'll go ahead and move into the Chevrolet Bald Eagles in America segment of this video. Honestly, if I was going to get the new Camaro, I've driven both the automatic and the manual version. Get the manual version. The automatic version, when I drove it, I was comparing it directly to buying a Scat Pack. When I drove the automatic Camaro, it kind of seemed, I don't know how to put this nicely, but it kind of seemed heartless. Maybe like the car didn't have any soul to it. Like when I floored it, I was like, yeah, it's quick, wow. But it just did it in a way that didn't really excite me, or didn't give me any thrilling, like, whoa. It was just kind of like, okay, that's a pretty big number on the speedometer, but wasn't really exciting getting there. Yeah, it's an 8-speed automatic transmission. It shifts fast. I'm sure, it gets great gas mileage and stuff. It's a great transmission, no doubt. But the driving experience, in that Camaro, the sports car and stuff, it just wasn't what it should be. However, the manual transmission, the 6-speed manual available currently for the Camaros, that transmission is absolutely beautiful. I loved it so much. I went and drove one like 3 days ago, I think. That was probably the most fun I've ever had in a manual transmission car. Definitely kudos to Chevrolet for nailing that transmission. I think it's a Tremec transmission, so Tremec, good job. But the way you can row through the gears in that car, the way everything's laid out, the clutch feel, the gears, the way they're laid out, everything was just perfect. Really enjoyed that car a lot. Now moving on to the dadgum Ford Mustang. Alright, so the Ford Mustang's an interesting one because the transmission is probably the #1 thing that the owner owners complain about. Personally, if I was getting a Ford Mustang, I'd get a manual transmission. I think the six-speed manual in the Mustang, the 5.0, is just a complete necessity for that car. I think with the auto, once again, just kind of like it's a lazy transmission. It's super dated. It's a 6-speed automatic, where we're living in a world now where pretty much everything is an 8-speed auto, or at least 7-speed auto in the car world. And now people are moving to 10-speed autos, which I'll get into that in a little bit. But I just think that if you're going to get a Mustang, the automatic transmission is just not the way to go. If you don't know how to drive a stick or something, I mean, I would try to find a way where you can learn how. And the manual transmission in that car, a lot of people hate it, but when I've driven it, personally, I think it's a great transmission. I enjoyed it. I don't know, that's a weird one. It's definitely an interesting transmission. I don't want to sit here and give it too much praise, because that transmission in the 5.0 is known for having a lot of problems and like blowing up third gear, and it's had its fair share of problems. The transmission is pretty dated by now, so Ford is supposedly going to be releasing the 10-speed automatic coming out with the 2017 or 2018 year model, whatever, one of these coming years. However, if you have any type of social media presence, whether that's YouTube, Instagram, whatever, then you should definitely go with the manual, because if not, everyone's going to make fun of you and say, you bought an automatic, you suck. You wouldn't believe the amount of comments I get that say, wow, you have an automatic, you suck, go kill yourself, or something along those lines. And I'm like, dude, who cares? This has no effect on your life. It's a Charger for one, which only comes with an automatic transmission, so there's really nothing to bitch about, yet people find things to bitch about. And if something is not exactly like they want it, they find a way to get butthurt by it. But who cares? Get whatever you want. If you want an automatic, get one. If you want a manual, get one. I don't care, and you shouldn't either. With that, there are some cars that I believe should just only be made with a manual transmission. I'm not going to go in and name a bunch, but one I can name is like a Miata. I think a Miata should only be manual transmissions. If you have an automatic Miata, that kind of takes the whole purpose and funness out of a Miata. It just kind of, you're just left with like a little car. Also, another thing is that so many people get caught up in numbers, whether, I'll use the new Camaro, for example, where the automatic does a 0 to 60 in 4 seconds and the manual does it in 4.2. And everybody's like, oh my God, the automatic is so much faster. I have to buy that. If I'm going to do any type of racing, I have to buy the automatic. Blah, blah, blah. Just because they want to have bragging rights. They want to say, oh, it'll do it in 4 seconds rather than 4.2. But who cares? A 0.2 second difference in a 0 to 60 time is not going to stop me from buying the car that I want and enjoy. Like, something like that shouldn't affect anything. Numbers are not always the case. For example, my good buddy Big B, who had a black Challenger Scat Pack, sold his Scat Pack and bought a 2014 or 13 ZL1 Camaro. That Camaro has 580 horsepower. When we've gone to Mexico and we've tested that car versus this car, it takes him till almost 120 miles per hour to pass me. He's got 100 more horsepower than I do, and he weighs less. That goes to show you that numbers on paper sometimes can be very deceiving. I have always said this, that real world testing and stuff like that is really what you should look at rather than just what paper stuff says. I mean, if you have a manual car, oh yeah, we're going for it. Yeah. There's so many variables, it's pretty much impossible to tell you, like, this one's gonna be faster, this one's gonna be slower, this one's, etc., whatever. You get the point, you get what I'm trying to say. I guess what I'm trying to get at is that I'm just really tired of seeing people, like, in the comment sections of my videos, or in everyone's videos for that matter. I'm really tired of seeing people just argue about numbers on paper. Who cares about numbers on paper? Buy whatever car you want to buy. Whatever makes you happy, you should buy. I believe that there's 2 reasons why people buy cars. Number 1 reason, you buy it for transportation. Number 2 reason, this one doesn't apply to everybody, but it applies to car enthusiasts, car guys and girls. They will all agree on this. You buy a car because you enjoy it. It makes you have fun. You are entertained with it. It's almost kind of like, it is something that we as humans cannot attain, but we built these machines so that we can attain these incredible feats and do these things, like Nissan GTRs achieving 0 to 60 times under 3 seconds. Like, we build these machines to do that because as humans, like, we're only limited to so much. We can walk and run and, like, wave at each other. That's about it. So rather than run across a field and see who runs faster, we build these incredible machines and put our foot down on this little pedal thing, and it makes loud noises, and we go really fast, and we enjoy that. I don't know, humans are weird. So don't go out and just buy a car just because everybody on the internet says it's going to be the greatest thing, because a lot of times that's not true at all. I really do think when it comes down to, if you're in the market for a new car, you need to go out there and you need to go test drive multiple cars, whether they're, you know, direct comparisons or whether they're totally different. You can compare, you know, a 4-door sedan to a Camaro like I did. Like, go out and just test drive different things. Whatever you enjoy the most, that's what you should buy. I really hope this video doesn't come across as me hating on any type of vehicle, because that's not what it was intended to do. If you have an automatic Mustang or something, that's fine. Have an automatic Mustang. If you enjoy it, that's great. That's all that matters. It's your car. Do whatever you want with it. If you want to put supercharged badges on your non-supercharged car, go ahead. It doesn't affect my life. It doesn't affect anybody else's life. There's a Civic that just pulled out in front of me. But I really have been holding this back for a while and wanted to get this out there. And, you know, like I said before, the whole point of this video is to go out, find yourself a car that you enjoy, buy that one and have fun, live life to the fullest. Life is too short to be bitching about if somebody's car is an automatic or manual transmission on the internet. Come on, guys, let's all grow up a little bit. But anyways, just got home, guys, about to go inside, edit this video. I've been running errands all day, so it'll be nice to kind of relax for a little while. Promise I have some more fun videos coming out very shortly. I've just been so swamped with schoolwork and life, and just one of those times. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. As always, let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with what I have said in the video. If you disagree, don't just say I disagree. Give me reasons why. Tell me what you think. I will see you guys in the next video. As always, take it easy.